Welcome to View to a Skill. My name is Deb Perry. Today we're going to make kettle corn. We're going to make it in a cast iron kettle over a wood fire. This is the way it was done back in the 18th century, back when it first started, and just kind of a way that we enjoy doing it. So anyway, glad that you're here, and I'm going to show you how it's done. So over here we have my wood fire going. We try to get a good bed of coals to get the temperature up really hot. We've got to have it about 450 degrees for the popcorn to pop. That's about the optimum temperature. And what I'll do is I'm going to throw in a handful of kindling just before it's time to pop. I have my oil, my sugar, my popcorn over here ready to go. I've got it all pre-measured out. And so we'll put the oil in. Once I get that going, we'll put in some test kernels. That's my thermometer. The test kernels, when they start popping, that's when I know it's hot enough, and I add the rest of the popcorn. And then once that starts popping, we'll put the sugar in and mix that all up and keep mixing it until it all's popped. When it's done popping, we'll dump it off into the bin over here, and my wife will add the salt to it and mix it all up, and that's when you get your kettle corn. So one of the things that when we're doing this, because we're working around an open fire, is I wear a leather apron as a protection from the heat and from sparks that may pop out of the fire and the hot oil that may pop out. Number two, I have a screen that I put over the kettle when I'm doing it. That keeps the popcorn from popping out, obviously, but it also keeps the oil from spattering out as well. And I also wear safety goggles or safety glasses. I have different sets that I wear. And I also wear welder's gloves because handling the kettle gets extremely hot. So we try to make safety a priority when we're doing this, and to protect ourselves from it, because like I said, the fire's got to be around 450 degrees when we're working with it. So, and I have to be right over it. So anyway, it's just about ready to go. I'm going to start doing it. So I'll talk as I'm going, but anyway, first thing I'm going to do is put some more kindling on here and get the flames going, and then we'll start. So this kindling is kindling that I got. It's actually apple. I've been trying it. I've used maple in the past. Some people use oak. Usually a hardwood gives you good heat, and we split it up really fine and use that. We split it up that way so that we can get a fast fire, get the flames really quickly, and so that we can make it so it's not taking forever. The longer the oil sits in the kettle, the more it's going to get discolored and it's going to not taste as good. So we try to do it as a fast, quick heat. Pine will give you that, but pine also has a lot of black smoke and a lot of, it doesn't smell good, and it's really not a good wood to use. So we try to go with a good hardwood that has a quick flame to it. So next I'm going to add my oil. And I'm going to do a few test kernels. We'll put those down in the oil. Then we drop the pot down into the fire. While that's happening, I'll put on my safety glasses and my gloves. And then we wait for this to start boiling. I can see it's already starting to bubble in there, meaning the heat's good. When we do this, we usually do about 2 to 2.5 cups of popcorn at a time. As you can see, the fire is going really good. It's coming up around the sides of the kettle, getting it good and hot, which is just exactly what I want. The reason we do the kindling is the kindling will burn down in between batches, and so you don't have to have a huge fire going all the time. All right, we can see that that's now warm, and it'll start popping right out of the kettle for a minute. So then we get all the kernels in the oil. And that'll start getting good and hot. And then when we add the sugar, it'll actually cool it down a little bit. So now we've added the sugar. Once you've added the sugar, you have to keep stirring it so that it doesn't burn until the sugar all melts. And that's going to coat the popcorn. It's getting, so it's starting to melt now. It's still a little crystallize, but it'll become a liquid here shortly. And you can see that it's starting to pop now. So what we do is we cover it. That keeps it inside the kettle. I have a screen that I put over so I can still see what I'm doing. And I continue to stir. And we keep stirring until this takes off, and when it takes off, it really goes to then we take that off, hang that up, start cranking it before it burns. My wife comes over, we dump this in like this. Then she'll take it over and she'll put salt on it and shake that around a little bit. And while she's doing that, I clean the pot out. You can see it's kind of sticky, and that's from the sugar that's on it, and that will break apart as it dries. The secret to kettle corn, you put sugar in it, and a lot of people don't realize that you need the salt to actually bring the sweetness out. So the salt is what makes it really taste like the kettle corn you're used to eating. And then I always sample it. That's the hard job.
More salt.
Perfect.